Three critical things are happening underneath your grass right now, and if you don't deal with them before July hits in the next 14 days, your lawn is done by August. Around 20,000 grubs are about to hatch in the normal suburban yard, and they will eat your grass roots from below. Then there's the crabgrass and a lawn fungus that destroys healthy grass. But don't worry, my name's Lenny, and I'm going to show you exactly how to handle all three before that window closes. Most people find out about this too late. The grass starts yellowing in early August, goes crispy by the second week, and by Labor Day there's dinner plate brown patches all over the yard and skunks digging it up at night looking for the grubs. At that point, the $40 emergency bag of Scotts Turf Builder you grabbed at Home Depot is not going to save you. Neither is the sprinkler. Your lawn won't be dying because of the August heat. It'll be dying because of what you didn't do in the last 2 weeks of June. But you've still got time, and the solution is cheaper than you think. 3 products, one Saturday morning, and not one of them is at Home Depot. Stick around, I'm going to show you exactly what to buy, where to get it, and how to put it down this weekend. Alright, the window's already open, let's get into it. The first problem is grubs, Japanese beetle grubs specifically, little white C-shaped larvae that eat grass roots from below. When the soil hits 70 degrees about 6 inches down, the eggs hatch, and in most of the country that's the last week of June. A normal suburban yard, around 7,500 square feet, will hatch anywhere from 20,000 to 120,000 of them in the next 2 weeks. You won't see it because it's happening 4 inches under the soil, but the skunks tearing up your yard in August, they smell the grubs underground. They're not the problem. They're the receipt. Scott sells you GrubX for this, about $42 at Home Depot, covers 5,000 square feet. Flip it over. Active ingredient, chlorantraniliprole, 0.08%. That patent expired 4 years ago. Generic versions of the exact same molecule have been on the shelf ever since. And Scotts is still charging the same price they charged when nobody else was legally allowed to make it. The generic sits at Site 1. Same molecule, but at 0.2%, 2.5 times stronger in the bag, and one bag covers 25,000 square feet for 60 to 80 bucks. Do the math, about a quarter of a cent per square foot versus 8/10 for GrubX. Roughly 4 times cheaper, 2.5 times stronger. And here's the part Scotts really doesn't want you to know. Chlorantraniliprole has a 4-month residual in the soil. One application in late June protects your lawn straight through October. 1. The April mailer and the August end cap pushing you to reapply? The molecule doesn't need it, the marketing department does. Application is exactly what you'd expect. Broadcast spreader set to the rate on the bag, walk it north to south first and then east to west. Water it in within 24 hours so it moves down to the root zone where the grubs actually live. That's it. Once, late June, done for the year. Quick before we continue. If you're serious about fixing your lawn without wasting money at Home Depot, you just need the right stuff and a plan. That's why I wrote the book, a straight step-by-step blueprint to a greener lawn with fewer weeds. What to buy, where to get it, when to put it down. Scan the QR code or click the link below to get your copy. If you want it, it is there. Now, while the grubs are getting ready to hatch underground, something else is happening above the soil line. The crabgrass that came up in May is sitting at what's called the 1 to 4 leaf stage right now. This is the only stage in the entire summer where you can spray a selective herbicide and kill it without killing your good grass with it. After leaf 5, the plant starts tillering out sideways and the chemistry stops working. Miss this 2-week window and you're stuck with the crabgrass until you reseed in October. There's no second chance until fall. Now, the Scotts version of this story is one of the great cons in suburban America. They sell you a yellow bag called Step 2 Weed and Feed every spring. The one your dad's been buying since you were a kid. Flip it over and read the active ingredients. 2,4-D, and dicamba. Both of those are broadleaf herbicides. They kill dandelions and clover. They don't touch crabgrass. Not one blade. Because crabgrass is a grass, and a broadleaf herbicide is built to kill things that aren't grass. So when the crabgrass comes up in July exactly the way it was always going to, Scott sells you a second product to fix the problem the first one was never going to solve. A bottle called Scott's Touch-Up Weed Control for lawn, dandelion, clover, and crabgrass killer. $24. Treats 2,000 square feet. On a 7,500 square foot lawn, that's 96 bucks every time you spray. The ready spray exists because step 2 doesn't work. That's not a flaw in the program, that is the program. The molecule that actually kills crabgrass in cool season grass is called quinclorac. BASF developed it in the 90s. The patent expired years ago, and generic concentrate sits at Site 1 in a little white quart bottle for about 25 bucks. You mix 1 ounce into a gallon of water in a pump sprayer and spot spray the visible clumps. You don't blanket the whole lawn. 1 quart bottle treats a suburban yard for 3 to 5 years. So the math, $96 per the application for the Scott's Ready spray against about $3.40 per application for the generic. And the bottle outlives whatever car you're driving when you buy it. The pattern here is worth pointing out because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Every Scott's product is the front end of the next Scott's product. Step 2 fails on purpose, so you buy the Ready spray. The Ready spray window closes before you find it, so you buy the fall renovation kit to reseed the patches the crabgrass left behind. The renovation kit is $65 and it's the single most profitable bag on the wall, which I'll come back to in a minute. Every failure has a follow-up product waiting for it. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly the way it was designed to. And now the third window, which is the one Scott's has spent 50 years pretending doesn't exist. Brown patch. The scientific name is Rhizoctonia solani, and it's a fungus that turns on when your nighttime temperatures stay above 70 degrees for 3 consecutive nights and the humidity holds dew on the grass blade through the night. In most of the country, that arrives in the first week or 2 of July. Once brown patch shows up in your lawn, it can take a healthy section of turf down to dirt in about 7 days. Preventative treatment in late June costs almost nothing. Curative treatment after the damage is done costs you the whole patch. Here's where Scott's does something I want you to pay attention to. They don't sell a real preventative fungicide for brown patch. That gap on the shelf isn't an accident, it's the business model. Lawn fungus isn't a problem Scott solves. It's a problem Scott's creates customers for. Because once brown patch hits your lawn and you've got dead patches all over the yard, you have to reseed. And reseeding sends you right back to Home Depot for that $65 fall renovation kit I just mentioned. The most profitable bag on the wall. Scott's is more profitable when your lawn dies than when it lives. Sit with that one for a second. A dead patch in your yard in August isn't a failure of the Scott's program. It's the Scott's program working exactly the way the company designed it to work. The molecule that prevents brown patch is called propiconazole. It's a systemic triazole fungicide that's been used on golf courses for about 40 years. The patent expired a long time ago. Generic propiconazole sits at Site 1 for $15 to $20 a bottle, and 1 bottle treats your lawn for the whole summer. You apply it preventatively once the nighttime temperatures cross 70 degrees and stay there, with a hose end sprayer at the label rate. You watch the lawn through July, and if you see any disease pressure starting, you reapply. That's the whole protocol. $15 to not reward the company that pled guilty to 11 federal crimes for selling you the cure to a disease they were rooting for you to get. So that's the 3 bags, 3 windows. About $60 total at Site 1 for the whole summer's protection. Now I need to tell you about 3 things you're doing right now that are sabotaging all 3 of them because the chemistry only works if you stop fighting it at the same time. The first thing to stop doing is fertilizing in summer. Cool season grass, which is what most of the northern 2/3 of the country grows, goes into a kind of dormancy in late June. The crown of the plant gets heat stressed and the soil chemistry around the roots gets sensitive to salt. Putting nitrogen on a lawn in that condition burns it. Scott's knows this. Scott's has known this for decades. And Scott's sells you Step 3 Summer Guard anyway, a $30 yellow and red bag with the sun on the front, 20% nitrogen on the inside, which is the same urea you already paid for in Steps 1 and 2, plus a token amount of a contact insecticide called bifenthrin that doesn't even reach the grubs you actually have because grubs live underground and bifenthrin sits on the surface. And here it is, the Scott's bag that's actively damaging your lawn. Step 3, Summer Guard. Scott's invented Step 3 because the program needed a 4th step to look like a program. A 3-step program looks like a 3-month engagement. A 4-step program looks like a year-round subscription. They know Step 3 burns the lawn. They sell it anyway because Step 4 is positioned to fix the damage Step 3 causes. You are literally paying Scott's to weaken your lawn so that Scott's can sell you a separate product to repair it. The most important action this whole summer is the bag you don't buy. Skip Step 3. Put the spreader away after your spring application and don't pick it up again until fall. The second thing to stop doing is mowing your lawn short. Raise the deck on your mower to 3.5 or 4 inches before the heat hits. Tall grass shades the soil underneath it, which cuts evaporation by about 30%. Tall grass suppresses crabgrass germination because crabgrass needs direct sunlight on bare soil to germinate, and 3.5 inches of canopy blocks the sunlight. Tall grass develops a deeper root system. Mowing at 2 inches because it looks tidier is the single fastest way to give yourself a brown, crispy lawn in August. The rule is never take off more than a third of the leaf length in a single cut and leave the clippings on the lawn. They break down in 7 to 10 days and return about a quarter of your nitrogen need for free. Bagging your clippings throws roughly $30 of fertilizer in the trash every season. The third thing to stop doing is shallow daily watering. 15 minutes of sprinkler every evening feels like good homeowner behavior, and it's the single worst thing you can do to your root system. Water never gets down to the actual roots. The surface stays wet overnight, which is exactly the brown patch condition I just described. The roots stay shallow because they never have to chase moisture deeper into the soil. Then the first week of August drought rolls in and the lawn collapses in 5 days flat. The pro rule is 1 to 2 inches of water per week, delivered in a single deep soak early in the morning between 4 and 7, so the sun doesn't burn it off and the leaf has time to dry before nightfall. That's the entire skill of summer lawn survival. All right, those are the 3 things you need to stop. Now here's the protocol the pros actually run underneath all of it, and this is the part you're going to like, because none of these tools cost more than a few dollars, and Scotts can't sell any of them because there's no bag to put them in. The first piece of the protocol is what landscapers call a water audit. Your lawn needs 1 to 2 inches of water a week, total, rain, and irrigation combined. Almost no homeowner has any idea how much either of those is actually delivering. The pros measure. You measure it with 2 cheap tools. The first is a rain gauge, $5 at any hardware store, staked into your lawn somewhere away from the house. You check it on Monday morning. If you got an inch of rain in the last week, you don't turn on the sprinkler. Most weeks in June, in most of the country, you don't need to water your lawn at all. The second tool is 3 empty tuna cans. You set them out across the spray pattern of your sprinkler, run the system, and time how long it takes to deliver 1 inch of water into the cans. That number is your 1 inch runtime. From that point forward, you know exactly how long to run your system to deliver the missing inch each week. The pros measure, the civilians guess. The second piece of the protocol is breaking the soil seal. Dry summer soil goes what's called hydrophobic. Water hits it and beads off the surface like rain on a waxed car. You ran the sprinkler for an hour and 30% of the water ran into the street. The fix is something called a surfactant, which is just a chemical that breaks the surface tension of the water, so it actually soaks into the soil instead of running off. YouTube is full of guys selling $40 bottles of moisture manager and soil wetting agent for this exact job. The pro version of this trick, the one professional grounds crews have used for 40 years, is baby shampoo. $3 at the grocery store. 4 ounces of baby shampoo in a gallon of water covers 1,000 square feet. Apply it with a hose end sprayer and water it in immediately so it gets down to the soil instead of drying on the leaf. Jerry Baker was writing about this trick on PBS back in the 1980s. The pros never stopped using it. The marketing departments just rebranded it and started selling it back to you for $40 a bottle. The third piece of the protocol is a light feed, and this one has a condition on it. If you're running the water protocol I just described, you can feed your lawn lightly through summer. If you're not watering deeply once a week, do not fertilize at all in summer, because you'll burn the lawn the same way step 3 does. The pro fertilizer for this is a balanced liquid called 20-20-20 that you buy in bulk online or at SiteOne, applied at small consistent doses through a hose end sprayer instead of big single dumps from a spreader. And the color secret on top of it is iron sulfate, $6 a bag at SiteOne, applied at half a pound per 1,000 square feet. Iron is what gives the lawn that deep, almost unnatural green color you see on televised golf in July. Scotts sells the exact same iron in their Green Max product for $20 a bag. Same molecule, 300% markup. That's the whole summer protocol. You audit your water with a rain gauge and 3 tuna cans. You break the soil seal with baby shampoo if it's gone hydrophobic. You water deeply once a week, early morning. And if you're watering properly, you feed lightly with liquid 20-20-20 and iron sulfate. That's it. You just got the whole pro operating manual for free, and the reason Scotts can't sell it to you is that there's no bag to put it in. So step back for a second. There's no generic chlorantraniliprole marketing counsel. There's no Super Bowl commercial for $3 baby shampoo. There's no national TV ad telling you not to fertilize your lawn in July. The truth on every single one of these windows has no marketing budget. And the lie on every single one of these windows has a $400 million annual ad budget. That's the entire game. You're not stupid for not knowing any of this. You were never told. If every viewer of this video drove to Site 1 by the 30th of June and skipped Step 3 this summer, Scotts would lose half its summer retail by next March. The Step 3 end cap at Home Depot would be gone by August. The whole 4-step program would be over inside 18 months. You have more leverage standing in your own driveway than you think you do. There's one more thing you need to know about the company you're walking away from, because it applies to every single bag I just talked about. On the 7th of February in 2012, Scotts Miracle-Gro walked into federal district court in Columbus, Ohio, and pled guilty to 11 criminal violations of federal pesticide law. They had knowingly sprayed 2 pesticides on 70 million units of wild bird food, after their own employees had warned management for 6 months that the product was killing birds. $12.5 million fine, the largest criminal penalty under that federal law since it was written. That's the company telling you what to spray on the lawn your kids play on. That's the company whose chemicals run off your driveway into the storm drain that feeds the river your town pulls its drinking water out of. You can decide for yourself how comfortable that makes you. All right, here's what you do this Saturday. 1 drive, 1 parking lot, 3 things to ask the counter guy for. Chlorantraniliprole at 0.2% for grub prevention, size for a 5,000 square foot lawn, around $20. Quinclorac concentrate, 1 quart, around $25. Propiconazole for brown patch prevention, around $15 to $20. While you're there, grab a $5 rain gauge if you don't already have one, and pick up a bottle of baby shampoo from the grocery store on your way home. Raise your mower deck to 3.5 inches before the next mow. Reset your sprinkler timer to 1 deep weekly soak instead of 15 minutes every night. And cancel Step 3. Don't buy Summer Guard this year. The bag you don't buy matters more than the 3 bags you do. Now, if you're serious about fixing your lawn without wasting money at Home Depot, you need the right equipment and a plan. That's why I wrote this book, a straight step-by-step blueprint to a greener lawn with fewer weeds. What to buy, where to get it, when to put it down. Scan the QR code or click the link below to get your copy. It's at fixyourlawnin30days.com. And remember to hit subscribe for more tips to getting the lawn you deserve. I'll see you in the next one.